What's happening, world? B Marsh Boxing back at it with another post-fight review. Here we have Chris Eubank Jr. versus Liam Williams. Fight over there in England. Two guys from England, UK guys, and this was a fight that had been postponed at least once or twice. So I was very much anticipating this fight and to see how Chris Eubank gonna look. I've been really paying attention to him ever since he got with Roy Jones, and he looked pretty good tonight. Not perfect, still has some flaws, still has some stuff, I think he should tighten up. But he dropped the man Liam Williams at least three times in the first four rounds. He dropped him in round one where, it was looking pretty even, a filling out round. And Eubank drops Liam Williams. Liam Williams gets dropped again in rounds, was it two and four? And you know, two of them knockdowns in the first four rounds were jabs. You know what I mean? I think in round two it was a cuff and left hook over the top, but you know, Chris Eubank was very composed. He was fighting from distance, keeping a nice safe distance. Wasn't so much aggressive as in like coming forward, pressing. He was waiting for the man Liam Williams to make mistakes, and Eubank Jr. capitalized on him. You know what I mean? He wasn't really in the first half at least throwing a lot of wild uppercuts, winging a lot of shots, wide left or right hooks. No, he had a nice target punch placement using his jab, and actually had a lot of foot movement, looking like Roy Jones as far as his perpetual movement in the pocket. You know what I'm saying? And it actually worked in his favor because at least I believe them knockdowns was him luring Liam Williams into an oncoming knockdown. I mean, they were with jabs, so he caught him precisely and perfectly while the guy's throwing a shot, Liam Williams, and he gets caught in between the punches, and the jab dropped him. You know what I mean? But something happened in round five, at least to round 10. Liam Williams started to pick up the pace. Actually, I think at the end of round four or five, there was also a mean exchange after the bell rang that actually had cut. Liam Williams, I believe, got cut in round two. Not nothing severe, but blood was drawn early in the fight. Then there was a big punch after the bell by Chris Eubank, which was deserved to Liam Williams because Liam Williams was throwing a lot of dirty punches, especially after the bell. But this particular time, he got caught. Let me hear what Eubank Jr. got to say.
He said some very menacing things to me leading up to
Be
this
March
fight,
Boxing,
and
subscribe.
I wanted to punish him.
Hit that
I
thumbs
actually
up.
thought about it before I got in the ring, and I was like, I don't even want to knock this guy out in the first round. I want to punish him. Okay, thank you. I want to punish him. I want to teach him a lesson. You know, I want to get people like that out of boxing. You saw the fight, headbutts, um, headlocks,
Headlocks, right?
all types of
Absolutely.
crazy stuff. I'm surprised he didn't get disqualified, but I took it like a man and I punished him like I said I was going to do. Um,
Eubank Jr.
it was
got
fun, man.
the same voice tone
Strange
as his
fight of two
pops.
halves almost. Very strong start from you and a strong finish at the end.
Yeah, well, people always tell me I can't box. Apparently all I can do is come forward and I have no jab.
Be
So,
March Boxing, subscribe,
let
hit that thumbs up
me show
if
some
you're
of
new
these
to the
cracks
channel.
side to Eubank Jr.
Let
with
me
a
hear
little
what
bit of
Junior got to say right
Roy
quick.
Jones Jr. sauce added to it. See something different, get the fans excited.
Roy won't thank me for saying it, but let me ask you, having had him down in the first, the second, and the fourth, could you have put your foot to the floor and forced a stoppage? Was there a danger you were letting him back into the fight?
No, there was no danger. I could have, if I had stepped on the gas at any point in that fight, they would have been gone. But
Oh,
he
really?
needed to be taught a lesson. I didn't want to give him the easy way out. I wanted them to let him know that there's levels to the game, and don't go out there, being a big mouth to guys who you can get hurt against. Thought he was something he wasn't.
Chris, you came, you saw, you conquered. Well done.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah, so something happened in the fifth round where Liam Williams now started to attack and be on the front foot. But he was actually making Eubank miss. I don't know if Eubank gas tank went out on him like it used to. You would have thought he would have fixed that if that was the issue today. But Liam Williams started to pick up rounds. You know what I mean? I started giving him rounds 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I give him 5 straight rounds. He was the aggressive fighter. He was making Eubank Jr. miss a lot of shots. And he was just basically being a rough, rude, and crude, rudimentary fighter in there. But that type of style was giving the man, Eubank Jr., a lot of problems. Chris Eubank Jr. started to revert back to who he was back in the day when he fights these fighters of world class fighters, or even not particularly world class fighters, just a fighter who about to beat him. Started winging a lot of shots, wild uppercuts. You know what I mean? Started missing wide shots, wide hooks. And Liam Williams was there. Now he got a little confident, and in the 11th round, a round that I had, what's his name? Liam Williams winning. Eubank drops him. Boom. Drops him again. I believe it was with the jab again. You know what I'm saying? I think 3 out of the 4 knockdowns today was by the jab. Drops him, puts him on his ass. He gets up, not severely hurt. None of the knockdowns that dropped Liam Williams had him shook, dazed up, or in a buzz. I mean, they were just mostly balance shots. And then that's a 10-8 round for Eubank Jr. And I gave round 12 to Chris Eubank Jr. You know what I mean? So Eubank won um, 1, 2, 3, 4, uh, 11 and 12 on my card. So 6 rounds apiece. But the 4 knockdowns, y'all, yeah, the 4 knockdowns, you know what I mean, are what um, had the man down on points. I must have had this fight 114 to 110. 6 rounds apiece. You know what I mean? You check it. Oh, no, five. Actually, I had it 7-5. Excuse me. Excuse me about that. 7-5. Yeah, I mean, so, you know, oh, hold on. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nah, actually, sorry, excuse me. 6 rounds apiece. Rounds 5 through 10, that's 6 rounds. You know what I mean? So, Chris Eubank, I was watching the fight and I was like, damn, this is the best performance I've ever seen from the man, Chris Eubank Jr. Till the second half of the fight, where he was getting outboxed and actually, was, on the back foot a lot, throwing a lot of wild punches. But it's all good because, the right man won, obviously. The knockdown saved him. Otherwise, y'all, if there was no knockdowns in this card, I'd have it 114, 8 draw. So, Chris Eubank Jr., he looked in the first half like Roy Jones, taught him a lot of new stuff. Second half was his old self, Adam Booth style. Um, so, Eubank looked okay in there, you know what I mean? Nothing to write home about. He said he wanted to prolong the fight just in order to punish this guy and give him a thorough hiding and beating. That's what he says. And for this video's sake, I'm gonna just let that one slide. Be Marsh Boxing, leave your thoughts and comments. Let me know how you guys had this particular fight, how you had it on the scorecards, and who would you like to see Chris Eubank Jr. fight next? I'd like to see him challenge for a world title at middleweight. Why not? Let's make it happen. Versus maybe Andrade and or Charlo. Maybe a Triple G. Why not? Be Marsh Boxing. I'll catch you on the next one. I'm gone. Peace.